Welcome to Aligned and Manifesting, the podcast that awakens your power to create a life that feels as good as it looks, grounded, joyful, and effortlessly magnetic. I'm your host, Kate Clark, manifestation mentor, mindset guide, and a believer that true alignment starts within. Here, we blend science and soul to help you reprogram your subconscious, regulate your energy, and manifest from a place of deep worthiness, not a willpower. Each week, we dive into conversations and tools that empower both your conscious and subconscious mind, so you can attract abundance, love, and peace with ease. I will even share how to teach these same principles to your kids, because when we raise conscious children, we raise a more aligned world. This is your sacred space to realign, rise, and remember who you truly are. A woman who is safe to receive, powerful enough to lead, and worthy of everything she desires. Now, take a deep breath, open your heart, and repeat after me. I am aligned. I am magnetic. I am the creator of my reality. Now, let's dive in. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Aligned and Manifesting podcast. Today, we are having a conversation that I believe every woman on a healing and manifestation journey needs to hear, especially if you have ever thought, I know I'm meant for more. I can feel my next level just out of reach. So why do I still feel blocked? Why can't I manifest my desire? And if that is you, this episode is going to land deeply. Because the truth is, manifestation is not only about what you consciously want, but it is also about what your subconscious has been programmed to expect. It is about what your nervous system has been conditioned to believe it's safe. And it is about whenever your inner world is actually available to hold the very thing you say you desire. And this is where so many women get confused, including me. I used to be there too. We visualize, we journal, we use affirmations, and we set goals. And we do all the mindset work. And we are self-aware, and yet something still does not fully shift. And it's not because you are lazy, and it's definitely not because you're doing it wrong, but because manifestation is not just a conscious process. It is an embodied process. Let's say that again. Manifestation is not just conscious process. It is embodied process. So today, I want to walk you through 3 core pieces of this. Your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your nervous system. And why all 3 matter if you want your healing and your manifestation work to actually create real change in your life. So let's begin with the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the part of you that chooses, the thing which is thinking right now and listening to this podcast. It sets intentions and it makes decisions. It says, this is what I want. It is the visionary. It is the aware part of you that can observe your patterns and decide that you no longer want to live in the same way. Your conscious mind is very powerful. It is where desire becomes defined. It is where standards are raised. It is where you begin saying, no, this old way of being is not enough for me anymore. But the conscious mind is not the whole story, because you can consciously want love and still subconsciously expect abandonment. You can consciously want abundance and still subconsciously associate money with pressure, responsibility, judgment, or loss. You can consciously want visibility and success and still have a body that reads being seen is unsafe. And this is why desire alone is often not enough. Your conscious mind can set the destination, but it's not always the part driving the car. And that brings us to the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is where your deeper conditioning lives. It holds the meanings you learn early in life. This between 0 and 7 years old. It holds the emotional association, the identity patterns, the repeated expectations, and the automatic assumptions. It stores what love meant, what safety meant, what success or being seen meant, what asking for more meant. So, if at some point in your life being visible led to criticism, being powerful led to disconnection, resting led to guilt, and receiving led to disappointment, those associations do not just disappear because you wrote a new affirmation or you journaled about it. This is why you can be deeply intelligent and still feel stuck. And let me make this clear, there's nothing wrong with you. This is why it's important to understand our body and how it works. This is why you can understand the work intellectually and still not embody it. This is why you can know better and still react from something old. So many people are walking around living from unconscious programs, reacting, repeating, looping, not because they are broken, but because the body and subconscious love what is familiar. And even when the familiar is painful. And that is such an important truth to understand. Your subconscious is not trying to ruin your life. It is trying to keep you in what it has learned is known. And to the subconscious, known often feels safer than new. That is why your next level can feel so close and yet so difficult to hold. Now, let's layer in the nervous system, because this is the piece that so many manifestation conversations leave out. Your nervous system is your body's safety system. It is constantly scanning. Is it safe? Is this too much? Do I need to brace? Do I need to protect? Do I need to shut down? Do I need to overfunction? Oh, do I need to pull away? So when women say, I want to manifest, but something in me keeps me resisting, often what is happening is not simply lack of belief, it is lack of safety. The mind, conscious mind, may want the thing, but the body may not yet feel safe with the thing. The mind may say, I want healthy love, but the body may be used to inconsistency, overgiving, and emotional unpredictability. The mind might say, I want more money, but the body might associate more money with more pressure, more responsibility, more visibility, more judgment. The mind might say, I want peace, but the body may be so used to stress that peace feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel unsafe. This is why manifestation is not just about becoming clear on what you want. It is also about becoming safe enough to receive it. And this is the piece that changes everything. Because once you understand this, you stop bullying yourself for not shifting faster. You stop making your stuckness mean that you are weak. You're not weak. And you stop assuming that more force is answer. Opposite is the truth. The more you force, the less will manifest, and you will actually go further back. You begin to realize my conscious mind is not the problem. My desire is not the problem. There may simply be an old program, a protective body response that needs to be met differently. This is a completely different relationship with yourself. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much in manifestation. Specifically, manifestation is often spoken about as if it is only about thoughts. Think better thoughts, raise your vibration, believe more. Visualize harder, stay positive. But that is incomplete. They are great tools, I agree, but they are additional tools onto what is important. Because manifestation is not just about what you think once in a while. It is about what you consistently notice, what you emotionally expect, what you identify with, and what your system is available for. This is where the reticular activating system comes in. A simple way to understand this is your brain is constantly filtering information. You are exposed to far more input than you could ever consciously process. So your system brings certain things to the front based on what it has learned is important. This is why when you suddenly decide you want a certain car, you will start seeing that car everywhere. Have you heard about the rule of red car? Think that you will go and buy a red car, and when you leave the shop, you will see it everywhere. It was always around. You just shifted your mind to focus on that specific color and on that specific car because your attention is organized around it. And the same thing happens in life. If your inner world is organized around negativity, such as rejection, lack, disappointment, and self-protection, you will notice evidence that reinforces those patterns. Not because that is all that exists, but because that is what your nervous system is primed to prioritize. But when you begin to intentionally change what you focus on, what you rehearse, what you emotionally connect to, and how you speak to yourself, you begin changing the filter. You begin noticing different opportunities, different choices, people, evidence, and possibilities. And no, that does not mean pretending pain is not real. It means understanding that perception is never neutral. It is shaped by identity, your memory, focus, and safety. Becomes far more powerful when it is not just visual thinking, but conscious intention plus subconscious reconditioning plus nervous system safety. That is the trifecta. Your conscious mind chooses, your subconscious mind stores, and your nervous system decides what feels safe to hold. So when those three are in conflict, manifestation feels inconsistent. When those three begin to work together like a team, things start to move differently. Now let's make this practical. What does it actually look like to include all this in your manifestation work? First, we get specific. Vague desire creates vague direction. I just want to feel better. That's not very specific, is it? The more specific could be, I want to feel emotionally safe in love, or I want abundance. If you put sentence such as, I want to feel calm, secure, and available to hold more money without panic, guilt, or overworking, clarity matters because your mind needs something real to orient towards. Second, use the windows when your mind is more impressionable. The moments just after waking up or just before sleep are incredibly powerful for intentional input. Instead of immediately consuming other people's energy, opinions, fear, stay within you and use those moments to rehearse your own truth. The reason why these moments are so powerful is when we wake up or before we go to sleep, we are in theta state. That's where your subconscious mind is fully open. The gatekeeper, which is called our conscious mind, is asleep. And you can use this moment to see the version of you are becoming Feel the energy of her. Imagine how she feels, how she moves, how she speaks, how she chooses. What does she do to bring her joy? How does she receive? And if visualizing is not a natural for you, that's absolutely okay. Not everybody can visualize. You do not have to force perfect mental pictures. You can work with a feeling. You can work with sensation. You can work with words and emotional tone. What matters here is that your inner world being rehearsing something different than the old default. Third, bring the body with you. And this is absolutely huge. Do not just think about the life you want. Ask your body, what would safety feel like here? If you are calling in love, what would safe love feel like in your chest, your stomach, your shoulder, anywhere in your body? If you're calling abundance, what would it feel like to receive without bracing? If you are calling in visibility, what would it feel like to be seen without collapsing into protection? Because sometimes the first feeling is not massive gratitude or full certainty. Sometimes the first feeling is relief. Sometimes it's softness. And sometimes it is one breath where the body loosens. And that counts. You do not have to force yourself into some giant emotional state. You are building your capacity. And you are teaching your body little by little that more is possible and more can be safe. Fourth, notice your inner narrative in the real time. This is one of the most powerful forms of reprogramming because your inner voice, it's often just the echo of the old conditioning, the stories we tell ourselves, the stories we lived and still believe. But it's not always truth and it's not always wisdom. It's often a repetition. So when you catch yourself saying, I probably messed this up, or this never works for me, who do I think I am? No, it's too late. No, I can't trust myself. Please pause. Do not shame yourself for the thought. It's okay. We all have them. But do interrupt it. And you can say, this is an old program. This is not the voice I want leading my life. I choose a different response now. Or, personally, my favorite, I'm not this person anymore. And then replace it with something kinder, safer, and more aligned. Not fake, just more towards the truth. I'm learning to trust myself. It is safer for me to grow. I do not need to collapse just because something good is available. I can meet this moment differently. I am allowed to become the woman who can hold this. That is the real time. Changing your pattern is not becoming perfect. Let me say that again. This work is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming aware enough to choose again. Your awareness is the turning point. Because when you can see the pattern, you are no longer fully inside the old pattern. And once you can hear the old voice, you're no longer fully owned by the old voice. And once you can feel the bracing in the body, you can begin to respond to it with care instead of letting it silently run your life. And that is where your power returns. And I also want to say this, if your environment still reflects the old version of you, that does not mean your work is not working. Sometimes your inner world shifts first, and sometimes you become solid internally before the external catches up. Sometimes the chapter changes before the cast does. Sometimes your standards rise before your circumstances fully match them. That is the part of the process. Your job is not to panic in that in-between space. Your job is to stay connected to yourself there, to keep building the inner safety there, to keep choosing the new response, because manifestation is not just about getting the thing, it's about becoming the woman who can hold the thing without abandoning herself. That is the work. So if you take nothing else from this episode, let it be this. Your conscious mind is your chooser, and your subconscious mind is your patterning, and your nervous system is your safety system. So your manifestation becomes far more sustainable when you stop working only at the level of desire and begin to working at the level of identity, embodiment, and safety too. You don't need more pressure, self-criticism, or empty hype. You need more honesty, awareness, and repetition mixed with compassion. You need to teach your body and your subconscious mind that what you desire is not only beautiful, but safe enough to receive. That is when manifestation stops being performance and starts becoming integration. And that is when healing stops being only about surviving your past and starts becoming your foundation for your future. And that is when your outer life begins to reflect the inner woman you have been becoming all along. So, beautiful soul, if you have been feeling blocked, this is your reminder you're not failing and you're not behind. You are not too damaged for the life you desire. They may simply be deeper layers asking to be included. And that is your mind, your body, your subconscious, safety, and truth. All of you gets to come with you into the life you are creating. And that, in my opinion, is real manifestation. I hope this episode supported you deeply. And until next time, keep choosing the version of you that feels like truth, safety, softness, and power. Bye, beautiful. Thank you for tuning into Aligned and Manifesting. I hope today's episode helped you reconnect with your truth, raise your vibration, and remember how powerful you really are. If this episode moved you, inspired you, or helped you see something new, share the magic. Subscribe, leave a review, and pass this episode on to another soul who's ready to rise. That's how we expand the energy. Together, come connect with me on social media or in my Facebook group. Our beautiful community is growing every day with mindset tips, affirmations, and the real behind the scenes of aligned living. Until next time, keep aligning, keep believing, and keep manifesting the life you were born to live.